Ladies and gentlemen, this is State Rep Jenny Decker, and she was in a meeting to shut down DIE. And, she's a Republican. And during the meeting, she told the NAACP that her father was a slave. Her white father was a slave. These people want to be victims so bad, it's not even funny. So let's get into it. State Rep Jennifer Decker proclaimed her white father was a slave during a meeting with the local NAACP chapter. So she sat with the Shelbyville area NAACP chapter earlier in February to discuss anti-DIE bill. She and 19 of her colleagues are supporting. You see what these folks do. Ladies and gentlemen, don't vote with these Republicans. Seriously, don't vote with these Republicans because they are proven not to be worthy of our vote. And we already know the Democrats are not worthy of the vote, but these Republicans, don't vote side by side with somebody like Jennifer Decker. That is a huge mistake. But let's go on. So, when asked if her family played a role in the slave trade, the 68-year-old Republican decided to give an inside look into her life. My father was born on a dirt farm in Lincoln County. My mother was the illegitimate daughter of a very prominent person who then was kind enough to allow them to work for him as slaves. Well, then that sounds like that's a white family member that did that. That don't have nothing to do with black folk. You need to see your family if you're upset about how your father was treated. Okay, that's a white on white thing there, Jenny. So, I mean, we don't really need to listen to this sermon because, sometimes these people aren't even telling you the truth. They're making up a lot of stuff to try to make it seem like they were just as bad off as a slave, that kind of crap. We have heard this before. So, so she goes on. So, if you're asking, did we own slaves? My father was a slave just to a white man and he was white. Well, that sounds like that's a family issue that has nothing to do with black folk. I don't know what you're sitting around the table telling that to us or anyone else. So, reporter Joseph Girth tracked down Decker after the meeting to get a thorough understanding of her comments. The journalist told the legislator that holding on to a claim that a white man was a slave after the 13th Amendment abolished slavery was weird. So she decided to break it down further. She said, my father was born into poverty. A lot of people are born into poverty, Jennifer. Lots of people. There was a very influential man who allowed them property and then they worked on it. And Decker said she added that they weren't paid by the farmer. Again, that sounds like a white issue. Okay, that sounds like a white issue. So Girth, also white, said that he was offended by her remark. He said that Decker spoke about the purpose of diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts during her speech, describing their sole purpose as increasing Black enrollment. However, those programs do so much more and are not solely focused on race. At the University of Kentucky, the DIE office helps students with disabilities and provides counseling services for students harmed by racism and more. Unconscious bias training is also available for employees, and DIE learning modules are incorporated into entry level courses. HB 9 was filed to dissolve departments and staff positions related to DIE in Kentucky's public colleges. Uh huh. And I bet you she voted for it. I bet you she did. So it goes on to say HB 9 would ensure post-secondary system in Kentucky is held accountable for dismantle the failed and misguided DIE bureaucracies. And this is another thing that cracks me up. White people, why do y'all always keep talking about divisions when y'all have caused all of these divisions in the country? And you keep talking about racism as if you had nothing to do with it. All of the racism came from you. How can we be divided and we're already divided? Please explain. Because every time y'all bring this up, it never makes any sense. We Oh, these things are going to cause division. You've already had divisions. What are you talking about? What you're saying don't even make any sense. The country is filled with divisions and been this way for centuries. There ain't nothing on this earth that's going to cause a division that you haven't already caused. The hell out of here with that crap. This is just downright laughable. For real. It's going to cause divisions like there are none. Please. So, anyway, this rep goes on to say that HB 9 was filed to dissolve departments and staff. So I read that part. Under the legislation, all said programs that promote what is described as discriminatory concepts would be dissolved by June 30th. The Council Post-Secondary Education would also be required to remove the equity priority from strategic plans and initiatives, including diversity plans and cultural competency certification programs. Y'all, I wouldn't be upset with them. Go ahead and take your programs. They probably weren't working for us anyway because you make sure nothing works for us. And y'all that play any type of, football, basketball in our community, dissolve your DIE with these teams and walk away. Start dissolving those relationships that you have with their athletic clubs. You lucky I'm not in charge because that would be what I would go after. So, anyway, with the Shelbyville NAACP chapter being a key component in combating racism in the state, the comments could be looked at as inappropriate. In 2021, the chapter in the Shelbyville Community Remembrance Project Coalition collaborated on efforts to remember 6 Black men who were killed by lynch mobs between 1878 and 1911 in Shelby County. 3 blue and gold markers were placed in downtown Shelbyville honoring Reuben Dennis, Sam Pulliam, Clarence Garnett, Jimbo Fields, Wade Patterson, and Eugene Marshall, who were hung from the railroad bridge near the tracks. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all, this is a disgrace now. White people are resorting to sitting in your face telling you their family members were slaves. I tell you, the desperation never ends. But please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.